Show me your news!
And now, coming through your speakers and into your ears, it's the gaming podcast that you all know and love. It's Show Me Your News!
Your favorite Super Smash Bros. Brawl podcast from 2007 continues to cover the latest in the video game industry at ShowMeYourNews.com. Now, let's join the show. Welcome to Show Me Your News, the pinnacle for delivering and debating the gaming news that matters the most to you.
Rumor-filled gossip, hardware blunders, or upcoming releases. If it relates to video games, we want to talk about it.
I am Peter, but you may know me as Yoko, and I am downloading PT today, and so should all of you.
I am Rachel, but you may know me as Evie, and I am high on lots of fruit sugars.
We are part of the SMYN network at ShowMeYourNews.com, and today is Sunday, April 26th, 2015, and this is episode 178 of the podcast.
Woo!
Well, Ben decided to go fishing with his family, or more, he was dragged there under his will, and Joe had a hard drive issue. So even though they are the permanent co-hosts of this show now, they cannot make it this week, so we had to call upon a guest. He's going to be here during E3, and it's always a great time to have him there. Big friend and fan of the show, Solid Snake 120. Welcome, Scott.
Thank you very much for having me on. It's always fun to come and chat with you guys and interact and talk about news stories with gaming. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I mean, looking forward to E3. It's going to be like a month and a half away.
It's going to be so good.
Yeah, we're hoping that Rachel gets to be out here for that, and we're going to have a great time with all these new press conferences popping. I know, so many of them popping up. Well, let's start the show. Rachel, show me your news.
So, I wanted to go down the Marvel route today because I very recently watched the Avengers Age of Ultron. We got it about a week or so early over here in the UK.
That's right, it is not out yet in the United States.
So, I won't be spoiling anything, just to give a heads up. There will be no spoilers from me. But before I talk about the movie, I wanted to go into the gaming side of Marvel, which is Marvel and Telltale Games are partnering up for a 2017 console game.
Whoa.
And they haven't really let on what it is, so I'd like to discuss maybe what we would all think it would be. Because, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I love the Telltale Games, all of them, besides, Jurassic Park. Besides that game.
Well, yeah, in Jurassic Park. And Back to Future, they did a little bit better. Walking Dead's where they hit their stride, but yeah, Wolf Among Us, Game of Thrones, Tales from the Borderlands. Like, they're really getting into it. They've had big donations from different people with venture capital to really grow and expand that game studio. And I think they have to fix the engine first, to be honest. I don't know how much in the future, into 2017, that the same Telltale engine can really hold its own.
Right. I mean, there's going to have to be some developments before they bring out a big partnered game like that. I mean, when you think Marvel games, you think, there's going to be a lot of action, a lot of fighting, a lot of, like, that first-person thing. And then to shift that onto almost like a third-person perspective, like, say you're walking around like Lee would be in The Walking Dead, but you're Thor or Iron Man, or things like that. I think it'd be an interesting game to have a Telltale game like that, with being with Marvel, but I don't think it'll be what people expect. They've got to have something else up their sleeves.
That's true. But Telltale's been getting the bigger contracts lately, not only with Marvel recently, but was it last year? When did the Minecraft news come out?
That's
They're
very
doing
true.
Minecraft story mode, so. Like, you almost wonder, like, are they putting too much on themselves? Will they be able to deliver a Marvel story with as big as the cinematic universe is getting? And you almost wonder if that in itself is going to get to a point where it's too big to fail, or if something's going to just bring it all crashing down with just all these superhero movies that they have, coming out and planned.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this has actually given me a whole massive sense of deja vu, since we were talking very similarly about Telltale Games, about Minecraft, and also about Game of Thrones before, about how are they going to cope? Are they taking too much on? They've got to be hiring more people to work on their game, seriously, to get all this out.
With it being a adventure kind of game and not super action heavy, I would almost be curious if you don't necessarily follow an actual hero. Because, I mean, with Marvel games, when you play as a hero, you expect to be able to use the hero's powers and things like that. What if they instead did it, you're like a detective or someone in the Marvel universe that has to interact with the heroes, but it's more of a story kind of mystery angle to it that would be more in line with a lot of other Telltale games, things like that.
I have a way that would work, considering that these two particular heroes don't exactly have powers, and that would be Black Widow and Hawkeye, because all they're doing is just firing projectiles. They don't exactly have powers.
Interesting. Yeah, maybe it's going back to that battle that they had, or whatever war they were in, that kind of forged their friendship relationship, and that would be interesting.
I mean, I could definitely see them doing a shield geared one, but
yeah, that's entirely possible as well. So, Avengers, Age of Ultron. How excited should we be, Rachel?
I think you should be very, very, very excited. I can see where people would probably prefer the first movie to this movie. There's a lot of additional character introduction going on. I'm not going to mention any names or anything like that. But I actually preferred Age of Ultron to the first movie. It kept my attention more with the action sequences as well, because I always felt that in the first movie they were damn impressive and they were damn cool, but some of them felt like they dragged on a little bit too long. Just might be me. I don't know, my own personal preference. And in this movie, when the movie ended, I had no idea that much time had gone by, and I was like, oh, okay, I only feel like I've been here for 5 minutes. What's going on? It's a really good movie. It's good to see everyone back together again, and they really do act well together in this movie, just like everyone's gelling so well. It's a great performance that everyone's got together to do this with. There's definitely some parts that I wasn't expecting. I'm not exactly a massive Marvel follower. I haven't got comic books or anything like that. But there are definitely parts that I wasn't expecting, and just little twists thrown in here and there, but it's a very good watch. It was a very, very good watch.
Interesting. And yeah, it makes you think for 2017, how close are they going to be, with Civil War and then Infinity War? That game kind of might fall right in between that for Telltale. I wonder, we think it's probably going to be some sort of background story because, if you're getting a hero, it's, paying for a lot of voice work. They may do, some cameos and all that, but I think it's more of Telltale's route, just like they're doing with Game of Thrones, to kind of tell, an understory here.
Possibly. But really Telltale, do us a favor. Make a good Deadpool game. That'd be great.
They're making Deadpool?
No,
Telltale should not make a Deadpool game, period.
There already is a Deadpool game out, and it sucks.
Yeah, that action one from, was it 2012? That was...
Yeah, I was just asking them to make a good one, because that one sucks so hard.
Oh. Well, we gotta just first hope that the Deadpool movie comes together well, but, with Ryan Reynolds, Marina Baccarin, it should be...
I think that's going to be
looking
great.
Good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be fantastic.
Mm-hmm. No, especially with that screen test there. That was about a year or so ago.
Actually, it was only this afternoon when I was reading up some of the tweets that Ryan Reynolds was sending out Deadpool style today, and it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. I'm quite looking forward to him playing Deadpool when the movie comes out. I think it's going to be a fantastic one. I will definitely want to see that in the movie theater.
Yeah, very interesting.
Definitely.
Back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, something else I read was that Kevin Feige, who's the kind of creative director behind Marvel and the Cinematic Universe right now, and kind of one of their top execs, was saying that he's a big Star Wars fan, and with Phase 2 of the MCU, it's kind of like, their Empire Strikes Back. So apparently, and some different websites jumped on this, that each movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for Phase 2 has a character's arm chopped off at one point to follow with Empire Strikes Back. And so, of course, they were saying, we know what it is in Avengers Age of Ultron, but we won't say for spoilers. Of course, not saying any spoilers. Did that become apparent, Rachel, after first watching it, or is it probably a little more hidden of an Easter egg?
It was a little more hidden of an Easter egg to me. I didn't notice that.
Interesting. Something to keep an eye out. That
people are going to kill me.
Someone gets their arm cut off.
I wonder.
But then again, in Thor: The Dark World, that was apparently done in a dream sequence. So Like, it could be done, but, no lasting ramifications, so.
Just thinking back to, it's not exactly a very big scene, really, with him or anything, but I enjoyed Andy Serkis in The Age of Ultron. I thought he was very amusing.
He's in that.
Yeah. I won't say who, but it was very amusing to see him in there, actually.
Suddenly Gollum shows up. My precious.
My precious Ultron. And Ultron was a hoot.
James Spader is quite the actor.
He
I'm
is.
really looking forward to that performance.
Yeah, it's a good performance. I always thought from watching the trailers he was just going to be dead serious and it's like, no, I got a good few fucking laughs out of that guy.
Very interesting.
Nice.
Any final thoughts on Telltale Marvel partnership for 2017?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they bring out in 2017, and will be a good experience to play alongside yourself as well, Peter.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see what universe they tackle, that they really delve into, because they might not necessarily go with the cinematic universe for the Telltale game. They could go with, well, Ultimate's no longer existing, but they could go with more of the comic vibe instead of the cinematic universe, which a comic book looking Telltale game could be really cool.
That is a very good point. Yeah, they're coming up with the new Avengers there in the Ultimate sort of universe in the comics. You do have things like Daredevil on Netflix, which were a big success, and maybe only tangentially tied into the cinematic universe. So, yeah, definitely a lot possible. We'll have to look forward to it when that comes out.
Show me your news.